Hello, my name is Bernardo. Welcome to YourGreatLifeTV.com. Today's episode is the secret meaning of apparent defeat. The secret meaning of apparent defeat talks about those moments in life where we invest everything that we have as far as time, energy, resources. We talk about it with our friends. We obsess over it overnight. We lose sleep and we push really hard to make something happen and it doesn't happen. And it's sometimes hard not to feel crushed or not to feel like life has done you wrong, and I guess at some level for a couple minutes it's okay to do that, but most people stay at some level in that emotion, and that same emotion is what's going to prevent them from creating whatever it is that they want in life. I guess my whole purpose for sharing this with you today is to tell you that again and again and again, not just in my life but in anyone who I've admired, have found the happening where you want something and it doesn't happen, and then something much greater comes from that. Something much bigger, something much more in sync with your sense of yourself happens as a result. But it can only happen when you're able to let go of that apparent defeat. And let me share with you a quick story just to illustrate this. Is one of many times that has happened in my life. When I was 17 years old, I found this girl that I really, really liked. We became really good friends, and I was in love. So I asked her out, and she said no, right? Who hasn't had that happen? But years continue, we continue being friends, and at some point, I was still in love, and I asked again. I mean, because we were such good friends, things were happening, and she said no again. So long story short, this happened a few times, up to the last time where I decided to, I finished college. High school. I was supposed to come to study here, stayed in Mexico for 1 full year in order to see if something would happen. That's the real reason. I told my parents that I wanted to work and try out school in Mexico. That was all bullshit. I mean, the real reason why I stayed there was to see if something happened with this lady. It didn't happen. And I was pissed and sad and even depressed, to say the least. So I ended up, after I went through that sadness stage and became pissed, I said, fuck it, I'm just gonna come to the US. I came to the US, never looking back, and a few years later, something magically happened. We reconnected, and a year later ended up getting married, and we've been married for 11 years. So the reason why I'm sharing this silly story with you is because had something happened at that point, had I gotten what I thought I really wanted, it probably would have ended there. After a year and a half, at that young age, I still was so inexperienced, so was her, that we would have found somebody else later on and perhaps not even ever gotten married. So that's one of many examples that have occurred in my life where I think I want something, it doesn't happen, and then I'm able to either create something much bigger or out of the blue, something much better materializes for me, which is the message that I have for you today. In order to be able to quickly move past defeats, you have to create a true sense of connection with the universe, so powerful that you don't just think, you don't expect, you just know that there's a better plan for you. There's something better waiting for you. It doesn't mean that you don't do anything to make it happen, but it means that you're able to detach yourself from that outcome in such a way that you let go and allow the universe to bring in something better perhaps for you. The other thing that I could share with you that can help you in those apparent defeats is to cultivate a sense of wonder and a sense of excitement about what's going to happen in the future. Because when you are, let's say something happens and you really want it to happen and it ends up failing, quote unquote, if you're able to create that sense of wonder, you can tap into a law that's called the law of accelerated results. The law of accelerated results means that, let's say you tried for a year to make something happen, and in the end it didn't work. Common logical thought is to think, well, it may take me another year to have that same opportunity, which is not the case. Sometimes the experience, that specific alignment between yourself and what's out there is already almost there. So it may just take a couple of days, it may take a week, it may take a month for you to materialize something even bigger. I guess it's something that you have to trust and live for yourself. It's something that's not logical, but it is the way the world works, at least in my mind. So that's all that I have for you. My challenge for you today is to go back to a time in your life where something apparently you failed at something, and I want you to think about what was the result and what were you able to create, feel, see, be, do, or become as a result of it. And once you're able to tap into that, share it with me if you can, but also next time this happens, go back to that time and remember that something better is waiting for you. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you. Challenge you to live a full and conscious life. And today, specifically today, I challenge you to open up your heart to a sense of wonderment that there's something better waiting for you. Thank you.